So good morning, people. This is David and I am taking control of Lauren's channel. No, I'm just doing the pre-trip this morning, so I thought I'd figure I'd give you guys a walk around and you get to see what I do in the morning. So the first stop is going to be right here on our drive tires. What we're going to do is I got my handy dandy tire gauge. We're going to go ahead and use that. And then what we're looking for, you stick it in the air nozzle right here, and what you're looking for is 120 psi. So bam, we're cooking with gas right there. So that tire is looking good right there. That's the steer. You always want to make sure they're 120 psi. And then we got these handy dandy things right here, which I did not ever see these before I started working here, so I'll put it on just so you guys can see, and then I'll take it off. So what it is it's a wheel cover, and what that does is that provides aerodynamics to the truck and saves fuel. Your company might like to do that because that helps them out. It's a little bit of a pain for us though, but all you do is you press this button right here, you spin it around, and bam, it just pops right off, and now you got like a normal wheel. So what we're doing right here is we're looking at all of our lug nuts. We're making sure all of our lug nuts are there. You're looking for any signs of wear or the fact that they're coming off. And then once again, what we're gonna do is a nice little air test. We're looking for 95. That's good. About 100. Good right there. And then we're looking for the other one, which is right here. And once again, we're gonna do the same thing. 95. Pretty good. So we're gonna put this right back on there. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm sorry if it's a little choppy. All right, that's on there. All right, so I'm not gonna bore you with the other tires. I'll do them by myself. But what I do want to show you is this right here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna look at our handy dandy airlines, and we're gonna make sure that the somebody didn't rip our glad hands off, because that's a real dick move that they like to do when you're an asshole. We're not really assholes, so a lot of times our stuff gets left alone, but that is what can happen. Now, if we had just gotten this trailer, what I would check is in here. This should have your registration and an up-to-date inspection. That's very important. You get pulled over by DOT, you don't have one of those, it's a nice little fine you get. So the next thing I would check is I'm gonna come under here and I'm gonna look right here. There you go. That is the second dick move that they will do. So right now our kingpin is the lockjaw is secure around the kingpin, but if I was a dick and I didn't like you and you pissed me off in the truck stop, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll slip under here when you're sleeping, and I'll pull this right here. And what that is that is your that's your locking jaw. That opens it up. So when you go to pull out, guess what? You get to leave your trailer behind. And let's hope that you're not loaded super heavy, because you can't do anything about it. But here's a trick. If somebody did mess with you like that and they're assholes, and while I'm coming down the line and I'm talking to you, I'm checking my DOT tape. I'm checking to make sure that my lights are working. What you can do if somebody does do that to you, and say you have an empty trailer, it's not the end of the world sometimes. I mean, obviously you want to do what you should be doing beforehand. And now we're going to check these tires right here. You should be doing what you should be doing your pre-trip, so that shouldn't have happened to you. But say it does happen to you, right? The best thing you can do is pray to God you're empty, because that is number one. You want to be empty. And then you take this right here. Obviously, I mean, hopefully you've been here doing it long enough to know this, but this is your landing gear. What you do is, if your trailers drop, you try and jack up your landing gear. And a lot of times, if you're light enough, you can lift it all the way back up and get back underneath of it, and hopefully you didn't cause too much damage to it. So that's what you're looking for if that happens. You want to try and jack it up if somebody did that to you. Really, I mean, you should have did your pre-trip like I'm doing every morning to make sure that that doesn't happen. But if you didn't, then that's a good way to get around looking like an idiot and having to call somebody to pick up your trailer for you because you didn't do what you were supposed to do in the morning, and you made some enemies at the truck stop. So right now I've gone ahead and I've checked that right there. Another thing to look forward, guys, or look at is all your rivets. Make sure that you didn't blow a rivet, because if you got a hole in the side panels here, it'll peel open like a can at 70 miles an hour, and that's always a fun experience. We're also checking our mud flaps to make sure they're there. All right, everything's good there. So now I'm going to come around the back. I'm going to check once again the tape all the way down. I'm checking the mud flaps underneath too. Mud flap 1, mud flap 2, they're good. Everything seems to be good here. All right, we're going to go ahead and check our lights up here. We got our, see our flashes are on. And then we're going to go tell my beautiful wife in a second to turn on the actual lights, so that way we can make sure that those top marker lights are on. Like I said, all it takes, guys, and the reason I tell you to do this pre-trip like this, is all it takes is one light to be out. One light to be out, one thing to be off, and you're getting a Schedule 1 inspection. And that sucks. That means they're tearing your truck completely apart. They're gonna take you out of it. They're gonna ask you a bunch of questions. You're gonna have to show all your logs. It gets real nasty and a real waste of time. So let's talk to my beautiful wife. That's not my wife. Can you turn the lights on, baby?
Yep, lights on.
All right, good morning. All right, so now we're gonna go back here and we're gonna check to make sure that the clearance lights are on and that they're working. So like I said, yeah, the Schedule 1 inspection is bad news. You don't want to deal with it. A lot of times if they have to do it, they're assholes about it too, because they don't want to deal with it. And some of them are just gung-ho rookies that are just trying to make a name for themselves, so they're looking to hit you with as big of a ticket as they can. So if you can go ahead and make yourself not the target by making sure all your stuff is up to snuff, then a lot of times that saves you a lot of headaches. All right, so now the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open the hood and check the engine for any issues, and underneath the hood. So now let me show you this, because these are interesting. They're some of them open up like our Volvo opened up right underneath the steering console. You just press the button and it lifted the hood. These are the latch ones. So you do this, you pull this latch down, and then I was trying to figure out, like, oh man, I'd forgotten for a while because I was so used to the Volvo. But what you do to make it easier too is if you slide this black part forward, the thing just comes right up. So that way you're not having to fight it. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull this up, take a look at the underneath. And like I said, you're not having to go super in depth. No one's expecting you to be a mechanic, but there are some basic things, like I said, that I'd be on the lookout for. I mean, you're not gonna know if like the C9 8 bolt, which doesn't exist, I made it up, is missing. But if I didn't make it up and you were just a truck driver, you probably wouldn't even know. But you're checking the basic stuff. You're checking the quality of life for the truck. You want to make sure that when you go down the road, you're going to be good to go. So the first thing I check is the oil. So I'm going to hold that right to you. All right, that's the dipstick. I've already dipped it in and wiped it once. So we're good. We're completely full on oil. That is numero uno. Because that right there, ladies and gentlemen, you don't have any oil in the truck, your truck engine seizes up, you have a bad day. That is a long weekend you're gonna spend it somewhere. So this is my power steering reservoir. I'm gonna check it all the way to the gearbox, make sure we're not leaking any fluid from the gearbox. All right, pull down to the arm right here, the pitman arm. And then we're gonna check the castle nut right there. That's good to go. We got our brakes. We're gonna check the brake drums, make sure that they're good. No oil, no anything. All right, they're good right there.
Check the pads, they're all set right there. All right, this is our U-bolts. Check those. Make sure our leaf springs haven't shifted. We're good there. I mean, this is not going to be a DOT Schedule 1 pre-trip. I'm not going to say everything's bent, cracked, or broken or anything stupid like that, but check your coolant reservoir. Check that every day, because once again, that's another thing like the oil that runs out, something happens to that, and you're screwed. You're on the side of the road. It's a bad day. It's a very, very bad day. So, I mean, like I said, another thing I like to check for that has saved my ass when I work for Smart Freight is underneath the truck. You need to look for any fluids, because if you have an oil leak or something, or we had it happen from the differential, you will notice a pool underneath your truck that will be so obvious. But if you don't pay attention, say I didn't get out of the truck to do my pre-trip, and I just let that ride, I would have blown the entire truck. The differential would have went. It would have been bad news bears for the truck. It would have been bad news for the company. But I got out, I took a look underneath. You don't have to climb underneath, you just have to stick your head under there and you can see it. And I saw that pool of liquid hanging out there. Now, you don't have to freak out every time you see a pool of liquid, because a lot of times your AC, when you run it at night, is going to it's going to leak out a little bit of water. But what I do is I just pop my head underneath here, I climb down. That's normal right there. A lot of times you can follow it up to a drip line for your AC, and that's normal. Where you want to look for spots is not there. You see that pool of water? You want to look like we're going up towards the front of the cab. If you see one up there, that's when you need to start being worried, because that's where a lot of the problems are going to come from. They'll either come from up there with the drip in the far front of it, or they're going to come right here where the differential sits, and it'll be right there. But right there where your compressor goes for your AC, that's normally fine, because that means that it's just hot and there's condensation. And so what I did check is I checked my belts right here, make sure that they're nice and tight, nothing wrong with them. Once again, following everything, looking at everything, making sure that there's no obvious signs that something's wrong. A lot of times, like when it's hooked to the exhaust, you'll see black soot to give you an indication of what's going on. You're just checking and making sure the quality of life is good. So we're all good here. So I'm going to go ahead and push this back in. The last thing I'm going to check before we are done for the day is we are going to check, obviously, the lights up front. All the mirrors are good. Like I said, I'm not doing the Schedule 1 pre-trip. But what we are going to do is we're going to check our brake lights. Hey, baby. Brake lights. Brake lights. That'll be the last thing we'll check, and then we'll wrap this video up and we'll be all set. And I'd imagine we're gonna cut this into pieces, so screw you, Lauren. You smell like poopy. All right, so the brake lights work, our clearance lights are all set. We are good to go, people. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and hook the hood back up, and then we'll be all set to go for the morning, guys. I'm gonna hand you off to Lauren. She'll give you a little bit of the her morning. Bye, guys.
So good morning, everybody. So today what we're doing is we are like Ram did this morning, is pre-trip for you guys, which I hope you loved. I know I love it when I watch him pre-trip. He's so knowledgeable. So right now I'm about to make some tea. I don't have creamer for my coffee. I know all the health nuts out there are like, black's better anyway, but I need flavor for my coffee. So I'm gonna make some tea. As Ram said, he just took our little baby girl out. Say hi, Ram. So we're just gonna get ready to go, and then we'll show you the day. Bye, guys. Good morning, everybody. It is delivery day today. As you can see, we didn't get a chance to upload the video yesterday. We are so sorry about that. We kind of passed out in the bed accidentally. But we are actually doing the light testing. As you can see our Chuck in the back freaking out. We're doing our pre-trip, and I'm about to run in real fast, grab everybody their morning drinks. For me, it's coffee, so I'm gonna grab some creamer and get my coffee brewing this morning. Gonna have some Starbucks, whatever I can have, and then we'll get going. So I'm sorry if I have no makeup on, as you can see, none on. So now I'll get my makeup on for you guys, and we'll get rolling for the day. Bye, guys. There's our truck right over there. Saying good morning to all of you. There's Rammy. Let's say good morning to Ram. Good morning, Ram.
Good morning.
Wide awake?
Yes.
Ready for today?
Go. Yep, we are ready.
All right. Wanted to say good morning to everybody. We are doing our new video today, and as you can see, did my makeup. I feel really good today. The reason I'm whispering is because Rammy is sleeping in the back, so I wanted to kind of let him keep sleeping until they arrive. This is where we're at. We are literally at a construction site today, so it's gonna be an interesting delivery day, and we're picking up, and apparently we're going to Kentucky, so we're gonna have some fun. All right, so thank you guys for following. I just wanted to say I hope you all have a beautiful day, and tell me what you think of the makeup style. Tried something new, let me know. Bye guys. Alrighty guys, so as you can see, we are at, say hello. Hello. And then right here you can see the mirror. We are at our delivery. Yay! We made it to the second one. But real quick though, we're gonna end this video on this note. I'm gonna be making a very small video after this one. It's gonna be a video that we ran into a couple of awesome truckers who are with our company as well, who do their own show as well.
Philip and Alonzo.
Philip and Alonso. They call themselves Two Mother Truckers. I'll leave their tag at the bottom. But in the next video, where they gave us a very special tour of their truck and really cool trucker life hacks that I really feel you guys should see that would really help you out there or give you some ideas. So it's going to be a very small video on the next one, and then we'll make more video clips as well to show you for the next one we're doing today, which is we're going from Georgia up to Kentucky. So we'll make sure we record that as well as I'm editing these videos. Leave a like, subscribe, join our family. Say
The
hello.
trucker family.
See you
Where the
guys.
truck are we going?
Where the truck are we going? Bye guys.
Bye, guys.